Hello, all you beautiful people out there. I'm Tom.
And I'm Savannah, and come wake up this morning as we serve you the morning tea. If you're joining us for the first time, the morning tea is a student-run show that takes a entertaining, modern, and real-world look at the world through the eyes of students like you.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Morning Tea AU, where you can see all of the behind the scenes and, well, pretty much what we do on a day-to-day basis here at The Morning Tea.
Yeah.
If you're feeling a little ordinary this morning, it is our mission to make you feel a little extraordinary. So, today's show will cover all sorts of the latest news and sport things and non-sport things like celebrity gossip. So, and what's on with the Trobe. So, Savannah, give us a little go. What's going on today?
Yeah, well, first off, we have Shaz with us here today to give us the news. So could you do that for us this morning?
Absolutely. Thank you, Savannah. So starting off with the weather forecast for today, we're looking at a sunny morning with cloud increasing towards the afternoon with a medium chance of rain in the evening. The fire danger has been set to very high as the temperature reaches a maximum of 29 degrees. That's Melbourne in autumn for you. Moving on to what's happening around Australia. The 2019 Australian federal election will be held on Saturday, the 18th of May, to elect members of the 46th Parliament of Australia. If you are an Australian citizen aged 18 years or older, you are required to vote. You must be correctly enrolled by 8 p.m. local time Thursday, the 18th of April 2019, which is of course tomorrow. If you are, however, unable to vote on election day, you can vote at an early voting centre from Monday, the 29th of April. Postal vote applications are also available for eligible voters. At least 5 people had shots fired from a car into the crowd outside the Love Machine nightclub in Paran around 3 a.m. on Sunday. Aaron Khalid Osmani, a 37-year-old security guard at the club, passed away in hospital, while a patron of the club is in a critical condition, also in hospital. Police believe this could be a targeted attack, possibly carried out by an outlaw motorcycle gang. This has now added to the spate of recent shootings across Melbourne, where 5 people were killed in separate shootings over a period of 10 days in the last month. Now across the world, a catastrophic fire that engulfed the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral, ripping through the 850-year-old heritage site which started on Monday, has been declared as being saved by Parisian firefighters. The blaze did, however, manage to destroy the timber roof of the Gothic building and the tip of the 93-metre high spire. The cathedral's prized relics and artwork will be sent to the Louvre for preservation, and French President Emmanuel Macron vowed that France will rebuild Notre Dame. Several pledges have already been made by France's rich and famous and presently stands at just over €500 million to help rebuild the iconic structure. And on to good news story today. A 100-year-old German lady is planning on running for council in her hometown Kirchenbolanden, if I said that right, or popularly known as Kibbo. At turning triple digits, Liesl Heiss has started a new chapter in her life, focusing on campaigning for the reopening of outdoor swimming pools. Often being ignored for voicing her opinion on the subject, the century-old great-grandmother now intends to use her age as an advantage. While most people would opt to throw in the gloves and retire, Liesl Heiss would much rather run for office in the hopes that she can finally do something for young people. And that's a wrap for today.
Oh, that's amazing. I
Thank
love
you.
that. I especially love the story about the lady running for council. That's just so
I
cool.
know, isn't that amazing? Like a 100-year-old lady where I would just retire probably.
Do you reckon she'll get there?
Well,
That's what I'm
You'd
wondering.
elect her and you'd be like, okay, look, the doctor's in here.
I mean, it's each to their own. I mean, you see people running marathons, when they're 80,
definitely.
90.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, it's just, home to the car, literally door to door. So, yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
each to their
speaking of
own.
elections, tell me about the election date coming up. And so in Australia, you're required to vote and register to vote here, correct?
Yeah, you have to vote.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
If you don't, you get fined.
That's
I've been
crazy.
fined a few times. No, I mean, like, I needed to vote, so I vote now. So, yeah, it's good.
That's really cool because in America, like, we're not required to vote at all, and it's one of our biggest problems with our electoral system. Like, especially years like 18 to 20s, like almost nobody votes. Like, it's like a huge campaign nowadays to even get people registered to vote, much less actually show up on voting day.
Yeah, and I suppose like the problem with that too is like you get a bunch of old people voting.
Yeah,
And old
that's what it
people,
mostly
like,
is.
Like politics is supposed to be for the future, and like unless they're the 100-year-old woman.
Well, there are
I
exceptions
think it's,
always.
like, most of the people voting, it's not going to be their future.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Same thing with like politicians themselves. They're not going. They're usually old as hell. They're not going to do what they care about. Like, you know what I mean?
True. But yeah, that's really interesting. I really like that.
Yeah, that's a great thing as well, especially because, like you said, you're going to be fine. And, young people as well get the opportunity to voice. And I think there's been a lot of, young people sort of running rallies with climate change and things like that as well. So there is that interest as well as a result of that. So hopefully, we'll have a bigger demographic this time as well.
Well, have you looked into the parties in Australia?
I have not.
You have not? Well, I mean, because, I think we've talked about you have like Democratic and Republican in America, and we have like pretty much just like a middle ground of both of those things. I think this election is very important though for climate change, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of species dying in Australia.
I know.
We've seen those guys out there with their environmental
Yeah.
campaign. It's true.
It is,
true.
yeah.
It is
And
very
Australia
true.
has such a wealth of like wildlife that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yes, exactly.
So cool.
We have, I think, one of the most unique, what's it called, native
Yeah, we
Mm.
lands.
do.
Or something like
Also,
that.
Great Barrier Reef as well, which is, a huge sort of story. And I keep seeing stories of that as well being written. And yeah, it's just everything, all in the one go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for the news today, Shaz.
You're very welcome.
You did very, very well. Very good job reading that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, for our next story, this past weekend, a few of us went down to Box Hill to the brand new French store called Decathlon. And if you're looking for a new hobby to get into but don't really know where to start, this is the place for you.
This weekend, I took Yulia and Savannah to the largest sporting goods retailer in the world, Decathlon. Created in France in the 70s, Decathlon is the store of choice for French people looking for sports gear. Their first warehouse down under opened in Sydney in spring 2017. They recently launched 2 more in Melbourne's eastern suburbs, and we opted for the Box Hill one. If you don't know what sports to do, taking a trip to Decathlon might help you decide. With equipment for more than 70 different sports, from basketball to yoga and rollerblading, the possibilities are immense. However, netball and footy gears seem to be surprisingly missing. In the store, it is possible to try most of what is for sale, which can make a classic shopping trip turn into something way more entertaining. Savannah, Yulia and I didn't see the time pass, laughter and fun taking over our professionalism. The friendly staff will help you choose the best equipment. Ben has been here since the beginning and enjoys his job a lot.
Probably working with the customers and also the job being different every day. You come into the store and there's always something different, or there's a new challenge, or something's always changing. So yeah.
Decathlon also offers bike repairing services, and a coffee shop sits near the entrance. Their prices are extremely competitive and could quickly throw some shade on standard Australian sports shops. With the imminent arrival of German supermarket Kaufland, known for its cheap products, Coles and Woolworths will also have some competition to fear. In the meantime, Savannah, Yulia and I left the store exhausted but determined to start exercising. Claudie Verac for the morning tea.
That's hilarious.
That
I
was
wish I went
so
to see
much
that.
fun. I know. I wish you came with us.
Yeah.
Honestly, we kind of like meant to just get in there, shoot some stuff, and get out. But I think we stayed for almost 3 hours. Like it was so much fun.
It literally looks like an adult playground.
Yeah,
for-
pretty much.
For adults.
And it was just crazy because, Clodie is, French, and she was telling us about, the store from home, and she was hyping it up, saying that everything's really cheap, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, whatever. But we got in there, and they had backpacks for, like, $4.50, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I know. I bought mine from China for like $50.
Right?
And I was like, that's a good price.
No, it was so good. And, like, everything they had there was, like, really good quality, but also really cheap. Like, I was so surprised. And the thing that makes the store so unique is you can try everything.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's unlocked. Like, you can try the rollerblades,
Yeah,
the
I saw that,
skateboards,
literally.
bikes.
Good job doing the rollerblades.
Thanks. I've never rollerbladed in my life, so
Yeah, no.
but I was really enjoying myself.
When I get on rollerblades or anything with wheels that are just in one line, literally, it's like, it's crazy.
You should see me try to ice skate. That's a different story.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
I'm actually pretty good at ice skating.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was great. So tell me, like, what was like the price of like the roller skates and stuff? Like, what was?
So the roller skates were a little bit more expensive. They were probably around like 70 to 80, but
Oh, okay.
honestly,
So you
that's
wouldn't-
still pretty cheap compared
Yeah.
to like a lot of roller skates. So it's like, they're not just like selling you like trash stuff that's like super cheap and it's gonna break. Like, even Clodie was telling us like some of the stuff she's bought from Decathlon has lasted her like a really long time. So you're just getting deals on everything, and it's just
See, it's like that same thing, isn't it? Like the whole Aldi thing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you got this foreign country coming and like making goods. And,
yeah.
like, supplying the goods at a good price.
I know.
Why you'd think that they'd be more expensive, like
Right?
traveling over the oceans? Do you understand? Do you know anything about like why that would be?
I have no idea. And we don't have Decathlon back home in America. We have stuff like Dick's and
Yeah.
Academy, and they're so expensive. Like, they're pretty okay price, but especially Dick's is just so expensive. Like, I've never seen sporting goods for a good price. So it's crazy to think, like, if, this company maybe came to America, like, it'd be, like, game over for them.
Yeah, I mean, probably good though, because I feel like a lot of these companies that do this, like Big W. I mean, look at Big W is going out of business, like hiking their prices up to the point where they can
Yeah.
sell, no matter like getting to that point where you can squeeze as much money as you bloody can from people. It's not like eventually someone's going to come and like
Yeah,
take over the
definitely.
market.
And I think even at the end of the story, Clodie was talking about how there's another company, another foreign grocery company coming that has really, really good prices that's going to give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. At one time it's a little sad that they're giving so much competition to Australian local business, but at the same time it's kind of exciting. Better
Oh,
prices
yeah.
for us.
I don't feel no sympathy for the Australian businesses at the moment. Honestly.
But yeah, speaking of sports, another sport that I knew almost nothing about until this weekend was Australian football.
Oh, really?
So
I'm excited to see
yeah,
this. Let's have a
so
look.
this past weekend, Matt took us to a footy game. So we'll show you guys that next.
Hey guys, Matt here. As you know, I'm absolutely mad about everything to do with sport. But all your favourite morning tea presenters know nothing about the game, and Savannah has never been to a game in her life. So today, we're here at Marble Stadium to give them a crash course on everything they need to know about AFL. The stage was set for a close match between Hawthorn and St Kilda, and Savannah was understandably full of questions.
Oh my gosh, this is just so crazy. I've never even been in a stadium like this. Like, why is it oval shaped instead of rectangular?
Okay, a little bit of a quick history lesson. The AFL was formed in the 1850s. Okay, full disclosure, it wasn't a quick lesson. But as the match progressed, I tried my best to explain all the basics of Aussie rules. People wearing pink are the trainers and like the sort of the medical officials. The two in the middle, it's a goal, and that's the ball, which is where you catch a ball on the full inside. But it's not enough to just watch the footy. Savannah needed the full culinary experience. Clodie and Yulia were there too, kind of.
So, Yulia, how do you find the game so far?
I'm not following it, but that's my second game. I'm still learning the rules, but it's actually a lot of fun. I love the energy of the stadium.
By three-quarter time, the Hawks were in front by 11 points, and Savannah had a pretty good grasp on the sport.
I think at this point, like, I've gotten the hang of it. Like, there's not too many weird calls and stuff like that. Like, as long as you know the basic rules, it seems pretty easy to keep in touch with the game.
But the most important question is, have you chosen a team yet?
I personally am thinking Hawthorn is going to be my team. I mean, the fans, like, for Hawthorn right now are just going wild, like, and it's a good time.
Well, they're 2 goals ahead at the moment. Do you think they'll be able to get the job done?
Oh, I think so. It seems for the most part in this game, they've been a better team this game.
But the Saints fought back. And when the final siren blew, Savannah's newly chosen team had lost the game by 5 points.
When the Saints go marching in, when the Saints go marching in, how I want to be at St. Kilda. When the Saints
My lecturing was over, but now it's time for a practical exercise. The ground opened up for kick to kick, and we headed down to learn how to kick a footy and take a mark.
when the Saints go marching in,
A pro!
when the Saints go marching in.
Well, after 4 quarters of thrilling football, it was St Kilda who came up on top by a margin of 5 points here at Marvel Stadium. Maybe Savannah will be looking to change teams after that? I don't know, let's see. Back to Savannah and Tom in the studio.
Aww.
Oh, that was so much fun. I honestly
Yeah.
haven't had that much fun at a sporting event in a long time.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I love doing that, like, after show, you go and kick the ball. Yeah, it's super. That was like my childhood. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have Matt here with us, actually, to talk to us a little bit about that.
Pleasure to be with you this morning. Now,
it's a pleasure.
do you remember everything there is to know about AFL?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I learned
'cause-
a good bit.
Yeah, I figured AFL is a weird little sport because, like, it looks very strange from the onset, especially, you know, how different the pitch is for everything else, the nature of the play. But once you sort of understand all that, it's pretty intuitive. So,
Yeah.
by half time or 3/4 time, you're way into the swing of things.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was actually like a pretty simple game to understand, you know, compared to like American football. I still half the time don't know what's going on.
Oh,
But,
yeah, I'm the same. I have no idea what's going on with American football.
but no, yeah, I actually like got really into it and I was like, yes, like I understand what's going on. So yeah, it
I
was
think it's
really
like
fun.
more exciting too because they kick the ball more, and you got like when you get a mark, you get to like kick long distances more. Whereas like I guess gridiron's a lot of like tackling, a lot of like
Yeah.
running, and like I feel like AFL it can switch so quickly.
Yeah, that's the
You know?
cool thing. Like it can go like across a field in like 2 seconds. Where American football, they're just
It's just like
inching it up the
bang,
field.
step back 6 steps, whatever.
Yeah, it's almost like a routine they have to follow in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an intricate dance, if you will. Whereas
An intricate dance.
an intricate
Oh,
dance.
how
An intricate
dance. Football, yeah.
Whereas AFL is just 18, set 36 blokes, here's the ball, go nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's still entertaining to watch for me. So.
It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about who won?
It was a very good match. I wasn't really biased either way. I kind of wanted Hawthorn to avenge Essendon because St Kilda beat us early in the season. But it was a really close game, and I was just happy to watch it, to be honest. You know,
It was actually a really good game. You know, like Hawthorn was winning like the entire time right up until that end. So I started going for Hawthorn at the very end. St Kilda like smashed it, and I
No,
was
so
like,
this is why you go for Carlton, because they always win.
true.
And the only times they don't win is when they've been paid not to win.
apparently. Well, they must
Oh,
be
it's
getting
the
paid.
truth.
They must
It's
be
the
getting
truth,
paid
Matt.
quite a
Now,
lot this
look,
season.
that's enough of this pack. We're going to go to sport now. All right, Matt, give it to us. Give it to the sport.
Well, St Kilda versus Hawthorn wasn't the only footy match that we saw over the weekend, and it certainly wasn't the most surprising result either. Essendon thrashed hot favourites Brisbane by 47 points at the MCG on Saturday. Anthony McDonald tipping Woody produced a stellar performance, kicking 7 goals for the Bombers. Richmond also had a much-needed win against Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. West Coast won their 8th straight Western Derby at Optus Stadium, beating local rivals Fremantle by 13 points. 8th straight, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Tomorrow night sees round 5 kick off with the Lions hosting the Magpies at 7:35. In the NRL, we've seen big news regarding 2 of the game's greatest players. Melbourne Storm superstar Cameron Smith scored his 2,419th point during his side's win over the Cowboys on Friday, and thus became the all-time leading point scorer in the league. South Sydney scored a win against the Warriors on Saturday, but the result was overshadowed by Rabbitohs captain Greg Inglis announcing his retirement from the sport after the match. Inglis struggled with injury before making the decision, and he's leaving the game after 263 NRL matches and 71 caps for state and country. Round 5 also saw big wins for the Dragons and the Raiders by 36 and 19 points respectively. To the A-League now, and Perth Glory have secured the premiership plate with 2 rounds to go in the regular season after a 1-0 win over the Newcastle Jets. Melbourne Victory's win over the Mariners moved them just 2 points behind second position, while the gap between 4th place Adelaide and 6th place Melbourne City is a single point, so that's going to be thrilling to see how that plays out. In the European Champions League, Ajax have reached the semi-finals for the first time since 1997. The Dutch club toppled Ronaldo's Juventus side this morning, and they'll be joined in the semis by Barcelona, who eliminated Manchester United. The 2 other semi-final spots will be decided tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The 1,000th race in Formula One history took place in Shanghai on Sunday, with Lewis Hamilton leading home another Mercedes 1-2 and taking the lead of the championship. And Monday morning saw a thrilling motorcycle Grand Prix of the Americas, with Spanish rider Alex Rins winning his first ever MotoGP race for Suzuki. Aussie rider Jack Miller scored his first podium position since 2016. And guys, it's also important to note that we like to be active on social media quite a lot. You know, we're posting all about the footy when we're down there, you know, taking selfies, posting videos, all that sort of stuff. So, everyone at home, go jump on Instagram, follow the Morning Tea AU, I think our account is called.
Yeah, and it's
you'll
a
see.
sick Instagram.
It really is. They're doing a great job.
Yeah,
out there.
like it looks fun and it is fun to watch. Like the way it's edited, it's sick.
And you can go back and watch Matt's sport intro as many times as you
Yeah.
want, because I know I have. It's hilarious.
And it's not just, you know, standard posts. We do stories, you know, getting behind the scenes, talking about all your favourite presenters and people behind the scenes, and Instagram TV as well. So have a look. There's some great stuff on there.
Yeah, and we have some really exciting things coming up.
We
We've got
do.
a break next week, but the things coming up, you're going to want to follow. There's some cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, look, Matt, thank you very much for coming in. I always appreciate your presence in this studio.
Anytime.
But as much as we love sport, one of our favorite parts of the show is Celeb Goth. So we have that with Bridget.
Let's play Guess That Event. Where can you cheat on your diet? Kiss your boyfie so we know you have a boyfie. Wear a crown just 'cause you can. You got it! It's Coachella, baby! It's one of the biggest celebrity events of the year, and it's one of the best places to see all of your favourite celebs getting rowdy this festival season. At Coachella, you'll see our High School Musical besties reliving our childhood. Billy ride her scooter, even though we all know she could have easily used her feet. And bass slay the stage again and again and again. Baby True turned 1. Yes, you heard me. 1. I mean, for a baby that won't even remember her first 3 parties, it's not over the top at all. Let me take you on a tour. There were balloons, butterflies, unicorns, ball pits, pandas, and no.
How do you do this? In heels. Okay, put your sister down. No, I said just... Oh. Dorothy, you gotta change into the shoes.
April 19th. Lock it in, circle it, highlight that baby. Because Chris Lilly is about to drop your new favourite show, Lunatics. A mismatch of characters who are all crazy in their own unique way.
Well, I'm allowed to do this. Oh, yes. Oh, your breath is so beautiful, darling.
That I love Celebrity Goss every week.
Your favorite part.
Seriously, Coachella looks so damn cool.
Almost a little scary. Like, it's wild.
I know, but like there's all those people there and it's so colourful.
Have you ever been?
No, never.
I haven't either, so I can't say much.
Yeah, I've been to like the Australian festivals.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think they stand up to like Coachella, like Burning Man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, you have to like apparently like on like a register to get into Burning Man.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go over here and introduce Becky. Welcome, Becky.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Not too bad.
Oh, good. Lovely to hear.
Nice middle of the week. Weekend's getting closer.
It is, definitely. Well, Becky's here to tell us what's on in Melbourne. So, off to you, Becky.
Well, if you need a new profile picture or want to add a bit of colour to your Instagram, Sugar Republic is back. So there's 12 new dessert-themed art installations, including a cookie house, licorice playroom, and the main draw card, the adult-sized ball pit. If you want to learn something while you're taking your photos, head down to the Melbourne Museum for Gut Feelings. Through multi-sensory experiences, you can learn about how microbes affect your thoughts and behaviours. And while you're at the museum, you can watch a movie at the IMAX's 23-metre high screen. IMAX shows 3D blockbuster movies, 3D exclusive documentaries, as well as classic films. So currently showing is Captain Marvel, Lego Movie 2, Turtle Odyssey 3D, Volcanoes 3D, and The Matrix. I'm looking forward to going and seeing the volcano one.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting.
Yeah. So what is volcano? Can you give me more description about that?
So it's been, really about volcanoes. So it's the IMAX documentaries are designed to be really good visual experience while you're watching it 3D. So it's just lots of, inside the volcanoes, you get to see lava flows.
That's so cool. I mean, we love documentaries. We're both in a documentary production class.
Yeah.
So cool.
You know what? It's sort of like the big pineapple, or like the big. You know how you go inside the thing and you're inside of it and you see how it all works and stuff.
I think it might be better than the big pineapple.
Oh, you've been, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, the big pineapple. I mean, I was young. It was fun. Do you know what they are?
No, I have no idea.
So it's like these nationwide attractions that are just giant plastic versions of things. So there's like a big pineapple, which is literally just a large pineapple, like big,
Cool.
on a pineapple farm. And it's fun. Yeah.
I must admit, the big pineapple is a lot better than the big mango. I grew up in the town with the big mango, and it is probably the lamest big thing in Australia.
What do they have at the big mango? Like a mango farm?
Bowen is the town, so it's well known for its mango. There's lots of different mango farms, but it's bigger than a normal mango. But when it compared to big things, it's really not that big. It's probably about 3 meters tall.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, I know.
That's not very big at all.
So it's bigger than that, but it's really lame.
We call it big.
Yeah. So why don't you go into a little bit about that big ball pit though? So where can we go? Whereabouts is that again?
So Sugar Republic this time's in the 6th floor of the Maya building in the city. And so I haven't been to this one. I went to the last one.
No, that's near Emporium, right? That's near the Emporium, the Melbourne Emporium, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's in Burke Street Mall.
Okay, Burke Street Mall. Great. Cool. So have you not been there, you said?
Not to this one, but I went to the previous one.
What do they have there?
Well, it's designed for basically taking photos of yourself.
Okay.
There's the one that I put up is like this giant cake that you sort of pose with it. And they've got one you push a button and it brings all this confetti down on you as well. And there's fairy floss swing rooms.
Oh, wow.
As you go around, they give you lollies as well.
Fairy floss swing rooms?
Yes.
What, so Tarzan fairy floss rooms?
It's like not that sort of swing. It's like a sit-on sort of playground type swing with all sort of fluffy walls and...
That's so wild to me. Yeah, that's so wild. This literally a whole exhibit just for people to take pictures at and stuff. That's so crazy.
And it was great because I went with a friend who was on a diet, so I got all of their lollies as well.
Well, no, that reminds me actually. Have you ever been to the NGV when they had the Warhol exhibit, or before that last year where they had those? Have you ever seen that? I don't know if you were here, but they had this beautiful exhibit where you'd go and you'd lay on the floor, and they had projections that would come down onto you, and then a big mirror on the roof.
Oh, that's so cool.
And everyone's got it on their Instagram that sort of went to it.
Oh, I'm so jealous. No, I didn't make that.
Yeah, no, they've got some amazing exhibits. They had this one sound exhibit too, where they had hundreds of speakers all around the room, and then you'd go to certain spots in the room and you'd have this audio visual installation experience.
Interesting.
I'll
definitely have to go to that.
Yeah, so damn cool.
They always end up having some really good exhibitions there. So often I'll see one and go, oh, I really want to see that, and then I get distracted by life and then go, oh, I'm going to go see it, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Always. Well, tell us more about the Gut Instinct exhibition. What is that?
So it's all about the microbes in our stomach and things, which is now people are starting to learn about how they affect us in different ways. But there's also partly an experiment, because on certain days they're doing collections. They get people volunteer to give little spit samples. And then it's part of an experiment. They collect up and get the data about healthy people, which is nice because usually they only sort of get this information from people who are unwell.
Yeah.
And they can I think they go for your postcode as well.
That stuff is super helpful, especially if you have an irregular diet, if you're vegan or if you have any bowel. It's actually, most people say your diet should be made to your bowel, to your own ecosystem inside of your body than to a fad. You know what I mean? Anyway though, Becky, that is all the time we have today.
Yeah, I can't wait to check out some of those events. Thank you so much for talking about them.
Thank you very much. So, guys, that's it for us today. Thank you for watching for another fabulous week of the Morning Tea. We're loving this. Aren't you just loving doing this?
I love this so much. We definitely follow us on Instagram because honestly, we have so much fun outside of this room, like during the week. So it's the Morning Tea AU.
Yeah, Morning Tea AU. We've got two girls called Bridget backstage. They do an absolute fabulous job with that Instagram. Like I would hire them to do my Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
Yeah.
But anyways, we've got a week-long break coming up next week, so we won't see you guys next week. But we're preparing some really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So we will see you next Wednesday, May 1st, 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, we will be back. Oh, and would you look at that? We're out of tea for the week.
No more.
No more.